Now you tell everyone that you are the master of blitz teams.
Oh, that's not true. I'm not trying to be humble. I I like blitz. Blitz is fun
Yeah,
for me, and I try not to follow people's pre-made teams. I try not to follow people's own advice. I follow my own.
yeah.
And I'm at this point now in my alliance where I was offering to help everyone with their blitz teams, and I did, and they all started outperforming me. So that shows I'm not the master, right? I just gave advice that they never saw, and they were able to outperform me. So I prided myself when I was smaller in this game. I got to the point where I could start getting into like 100 shards of an old character.
Yeah.
And I used to get cyberbullied for it. Why are you getting 100 shards on Night Nurse? Why are you getting 100 shards on Nebula? And reworks happen, and bam, I got them at 7 stars. I did it years ago.
Yeah.
And I felt that was one of the things that kind of gave me an edge in getting up in Blitz. So now at this point in the game, I consistently get in the top 500 for Blitz. If I wasn't so lazy, I could probably get closer to I could get in the top 100 for an old character, no question.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. And I'm outperforming people much bigger than me. So I think that's where his compliment came from. But I'd be happy to look at your Blitz teams if you'd
All
like
right.
some advice.
We can look at them too. We can look at them here on Marvel Strike Force. Here, or I can bring you up my blitz teams on msf.gg. I do have all my teams saved there too. What would be easier
Just
for
do
you?
it here.
All right, we'll do it here. Jump in and blitz. All right, so for the most part, they're in power order, or at least confidence, or sometimes I let my confidence let them jump up a little bit. But there you go. We'll scan through these. You just any thoughts or anything like that, you go ahead. But
Well, first off, you have 38 teams, right?
yes,
Can they all win on 8.3?
no,
Okay, well, they should be able to. And like usually what you need to do, like looking at your first team,
yeah,
you can remove Beast and put a chump with them, and then you can put Beast with Uncanny X-Men without Phoenix. And then you can put Phoenix and Colossus with another team. Now you have 3 teams that go in on 8.3.
okay,
Right? The same with the Web Warriors.
yeah.
I don't run all 5 of them together. It's overkill. I put 3 with 2 chumps, and I put 2 with 3 chumps. And then now I have 2 teams that are 8.3.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So there's 2 good things. All right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear more of this as we scroll down.
Oh yeah, same like right here.
Yeah.
I have alliance mates that run Adam Warlock with by himself. I don't really trust that, but I run Adam Warlock with Nebula, or no, not Nebula. Yeah, I do run her with Nebula. I put Gamora with my Guardians because my Guardians are the sure to fail team. You put Gamora on it, all of a sudden they win every time. And then I
Okay.
put Phyla-Vell with my Kree, right?
Yeah.
And now I have 3 teams that can win.
Definitely. That's definitely could be doable for me. All right.
It takes like max of 10 minutes, and then you're good. You don't have to keep doing it every time. But yeah, symbiotes are fine like that. I also split up this team
Oh, this
a
one.
little bit. You gave me a heart attack. I thought Sharon Carter was blue gear for a second. I was like, what? Like, but no, we already went over this. So, yeah, no. I have a team where I run Maria Hill with my Wave 1 Avengers, and then I run the other 2 Secret Avengers with, I think, Coulson, and then a couple Shield people, and then they consistently win.
Okay.
So it's basically just trying to find like little synergies that you can put together that can carry teams.
All right.
Same with the New Warriors. I just run the Cloak and Dagger together.
Yeah.
They'll win with anyone.
Okay.
And
tips.
Deathpool, I put her with Wakanda because there are some hero mystic on it, so there's a little bit of synergy, and she carries.
All right. Interesting.
Black Order.
when I come back to edit this, I'm gonna have to write these notes down. All right.
All right.
All right. So here's the next one.
So I'm just curious why you put Captain Marvel and Minerva there. Was Doc Ock not winning on his own, or you just didn't have a home for them?
I probably didn't have a home for them, and that's just where they landed. Because like I guess you brought a lot of good points that I haven't really thought of. Like, yeah, obviously Cloak and Dagger. If I put them with 3 chomps and they're not at the same level of investment, well, yeah, Cloak and Dagger are going to run through it because when I hit find opponent, it's going to give me 3 characters with no investment, pretty much. And then they'll give me 2 characters that have a similar investment to Cloak and Dagger. But in that 2-and-2 situation, most likely Cloak and Dagger are going to be the better meta characters and are going to blow through it. And that I kind of get your theory, right?
That's a good observation.
Yeah. So So that's why you kind of made the light bulb go off in my head a little bit here earlier, and I was like, wow. So I was like, I gotta take a note and pad because I got a lot of reconstruction to do. But I definitely want to keep hearing your theories on all these teams as we go down, just so I have it to go back to when I edit.
Well, I found that my Doc Ock Sinister Six team, for whatever reason,
yeah,
I can remember like 2 times they've lost on auto. Obviously, don't put them against Black Order or Eternals, like that kind of stuff, but they almost always consistently win. And mine is a lopsided Sinister Six like yours, where my Doc Ock is built up and the rest are chumps.
Yeah.
And so that probably contributes to it, that he can solo whoever's left on the team. But yeah, then you can run those the Kree ladies with a Kree team.
We'll do that.
Silver Surfer can carry by himself.
Yeah, that's kind of what he kind of is doing. I mean, he's jacked up. I mean, I do have, Kate Bishop, Invisible Woman here, but I mean, these two are really not doing anything.
Yeah, but if you put like the other Young Avengers on that team, I'm sure Kate Bishop would carry with that same theory that we were talking about there. And then Invisible Woman could probably go somewhere else. Maybe not with her team, but on another team that needs a little bit of oomph.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Shadowlands,
that's a good team.
Okay, you leave them. Okay. I do have X Factor with Squirrel Girl currently.
Yeah, you can put any 5th and they'll win.
All right.
And Kestrel can win on her own. Yeah. I do typically put her with other Shield.
Okay.
I think I have her with Fury, but I mean she'll always win on her own anyway.
We're gonna get to that team because that team does lose a lot for me. Usually at this point I'm still doing good on 8.3, and then when I usually get to that team, it's usually when things start falling apart for me, and I'm usually like, eventually I'm dropping down to the 7 and stuff like that. And obviously with the Wong Blitz coming up next weekend, I definitely, if I can, I did get 1% on the last Kate Bishop Blitz. I did get the top 1%, no tricks, no nothing, got top 1%. So it means I'm capable of doing it repeatedly, if I have the time, let's be honest. And, but if I can improve my score where, hey, if I miss a rotation, I'm still good. Yay. You know what I mean? So,
that's exactly it. Sometimes I miss 1 in a day, or I'll miss 2 in a day because I'm drunk or I'm at work or something like that, and I'll still get into the top 1%. So it gives me a little bit of leeway, so I don't have to stress out if I miss 1 rotation.
Yeah. All right. This one's.
So I'm guessing you don't have Toad and Blob built up. That's why.
This
they're like that, right?
Yeah, this is a hot mess. I mean, I'm thinking about putting the Marauders back together with their stats and kit rework, but. Based on the information you've been giving me, they might be better off if I somehow split them. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's another thing to consider, is that like your roster would be, your blitz teams would function different than mine, even if it's the exact same team based on like the gear and the red stars.
Yeah.
And such. So like me personally, I run all the Marauders together with Sabretooth because for whatever reason, I found my Marauders weren't consistently winning on blitz, which is a strange thought because it's a strong team.
Yeah.
So I kept Sabretooth there, and I didn't need him on Weapon X to get the win. So I know that you don't have your Toad and Blob built up. That's why you have them there. But I would recommend to you put Toad and Blob there, even in their current state, and just test them out on a blitz that you don't really care about and see if they do consistently get wins.
All right. I can do that.
Maybe just put a few levels of gear in them every once in a while, and then put your Marauders back together, especially with Madeline Pryor.
All right, Weapon X, I have that full team together, and now you can kind of see like where I stopped with all of them, and then just went crazy a little bit with Mega Red. So,
in terms of Blitz, there's like a lot of different things that people do.
Okay.
Like mine is gonna sound like that meme where like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny is like got like the lines and trying to explain it. That's what happens with this team. Like I think I have my Wolverine with my power armor because I put my Iron Man on my Wave 1 Avengers, and I have Lady Deathstrike and Silver Samurai with half of the X-Force, and it goes all weird like that, right? But they definitely don't need to be together, and Silver Samurai or Omega Red can carry with 4 mooks.
All right. Yeah, so far we're so here's Fryer. Go ahead. Anything there?
I'd drop Shang-Chi and put Jessica Jones there. Okay. And then just be a little careful who you put them against. They should still consistently win. Just don't put them against a full meta team and expect to get a win. But now you can put Shang-Chi with 4 other mooks and he'll win.
All right. So let's go down to the next one. This is where things start falling apart for me.
Yeah, I can.
This is where, yeah. So, so this is where the losses start. Where I mean, I'll still bounce back and forth, but when this is when the losses start piling in. So yeah, this team, I definitely gotta do something with it. It just does. It rarely wins, rarely, and usually I'm like, when I get to these guys, I'm battling at 8.3 if I'm going down in order, and it's rare I get a win on 8.3 with them.
Yeah, I mean, you could. There's a few different things you could do. Like you could put Kestrel and Shield Operative on this team, then they'll always win. Then you could put Coulson and Medic are a good pair because she revives Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use them with the other wave one, like the three that are left over, and they do well for them. They weren't for me, so I think I dropped Shield Medic and I put Maria Hill.
Okay.
And then they won. They were winning. Then I would put Shield Medic with the Secret Avenger team.
That's true. Okay.
Right? Or you could put like Shield Operative with those Wave 1 Avengers and Maria Hill, and then put Coulson and Medic with your Secret Avenger team as well. Like there's different little combinations you can put, but if you think about it, a lot of them have Shield, a lot of them have Avenger tag, so they have a lot of synergy that you wouldn't otherwise think about.
All right. Yeah. There's some of these teams are reliable wins. Obviously with the power level, I should probably switch these two, which I'm going to do right now. We'll move Dark Hunters up one and move them down one because their power level is now higher. Any before I move on, anything about these guys? Fine, change them.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's what I do.
All right. Next is Shambles of Skilletary, which don't reliably win. I think it's because the damage is not there.
Yeah, I mean, at least you have a G14 Punisher because he hits like a wet noodle at 13.
Yeah.
I run that team too. You just got to be really careful with who you match them up against. I mean, it's not a bad lopsided for sure. I don't think people realize how much work Black Widow does, and I mean, I wouldn't really recommend much for you to do here. Maybe get that mercenary soldier to level 60, but
okay.
a lot of people underestimate him. He's actually pretty good. I can't really see your ISOs here, but I think that they're okay.
Healer on. Okay, let me start with Elaine and go over. Let's say skirmisher, striker, skirmisher, healer. So a lot of skirmishers.
Yeah, I wouldn't start messing around with your ISO just to win on blitz. I would just caution you to be more careful with the matchups there.
Okay. Inhumans are a full put together team. Lopsided, but full put together. But usually, at least when you do lopsided, having the damage dealer be the strongest person is usually the way to go.
Yeah. I think most people have a lopsided inhumane team like that. You don't really use the rest of them anywhere else.
All right. Here's Phoenix and Colossus with well, not necessarily three chumps, but
three not well built up people. So you get the logic.
Yeah. Pimtech.
Yeah, I keep them together. Some people split them up. And so this is another thing I was talking about where like your roster would be different than mine. If you find your PIM never works, put Ghosts with a team that kind of doesn't always win. Like maybe that, just giving you an example, your skill military, you could drop that mercenary soldier and then put Ghost there. And maybe she would help propel it. And then you'd put like Shang-Chi there as an example. Again, I'm not telling people to do this. I don't want you to like cancel like Mr. Free to Play and this hack Nico for this. I just meant as an example.
All right, fair enough. All right, I don't have Iron Man built up, so I kind of built this up for war offense and kind of just left it with Ultron, even for Blitz. Don't know what else to do with it.
Iron Man doesn't provide anything to the team. I think he gives like War Machine an extra hit and like something with crit.
Yeah,
like, he really doesn't do
crit,
much.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people find power armor don't win on their own. So I always tell people put Ultron with chumps, and you kind of did. So
okay,
you know, I think that's fine.
All right, I have all of Wakanda together.
All right, my Wakanda do not win on 8.3.
Yeah, like, mine don't really win either. Because Shuri being the big one, if it's a, you know, I always say whoever the one-on-one is, if you have a support, if you don't have a damage dealer, you have a support character, whatnot in that spot, if you go against anyone else, most likely you're going to be outgunned in a one-on-one situation, which means you're going to lose. And I think that's where this is why this Wakanda fails a lot, because Shuri's the biggest.
Yeah, I think what I do, I don't have Killmonger on that team.
Okay.
Because I have him with my mercenaries. And then I put Deathpool there. and I still found that wasn't quite winning. And so recently, because my supernatural got split up, I dropped Okoye and I put Doctor Strange. So it
Okay.
has a little bit of a synergy with them. So I find that that's getting more consistent wins, but you still need to be careful.
All right.
Some people I know dropped Okoye and they put Doom or Ultron, or I think before I dropped two of them and I put the Eternals, just so I get a win, right?
Yeah. All right. And then we got the Doom carry. That
Yeah, that makes sense.
that I probably did properly.
Yeah,
Then I got the Eternals
same with
carry.
this one.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, basically was three chumps, and that's what you did.
Yeah,
So
and even like this is I always like this because I know because these guys are so low powered, and the blitz matchups always are based on what your collection power is what your opponents are. So I know going into a match I'm gonna have three chumps on the other side. So I already know when Icarus ults, three characters are getting away from the map, and he's double tapping.
yeah,
So
delicious.
yeah, so yeah, take that as a tip there with Icarus. All right, have Asgardians all together.
Are they winning for you, or they struggling?
I'd say 50-50. I mean, Hela's the biggest. It would help if Thor was also big in this situation, but he's not. So, I mean, as long as Hela can 1v1 whoever the strongest character is that I'm matched up against, then it's a win. But if she can't 1v1 that one character, then I'm pretty much done for. I'll be done for.
Yeah, that used to be one of my like sure to win teams like every time, and lately I find it just wasn't working. So I dropped Heimdall and I put him with my Axeman like as the fifth chump,
Yeah.
and I put Minerva there, and that was just enough oomph to keep them going. I found
All right. Yeah, we could do that. Give her to Heimdall. All right.
it
Next.
doesn't really do much.
Next up is a Zemo match. This can win for me. Once again, I have to be careful when when I select opponent that who the big character is on the opposite side. Because obviously, if I get a big character like a Kestrel, well, I gotta hope she's mirrored after Kingpin and not mirrored after Zemo. Because mirrored after Kingpin, then she's gonna be like 40 collection power, which is an easy win for Zemo.
Yeah, I found that I had a similar team like this. I had Grenadier instead, and I don't remember who was the fifth, probably Namor or Hand Sentry or something. But I found that my red face with his Hydra minions weren't winning like at all. I was like, I had to do them manually to get wins, and then I was just like, forget it. So I put red face there with Grenadier and the rest of Zemo's friends, and I find they were consistently winning. And then I put somebody to carry the Hydra minions, and that worked for me.
All right. Now, I don't think any of these teams below this, I don't think I have wins. I don't know if they've ever won on 8.3, anybody below this. Of course, we've talked about the Guardians earlier about putting Gamora on this team, and you're right, they can't win 8.3. At least I don't think I've ever have one. I mean, maybe once in a while, fingers crossed, I get a Kree or a Kree minion or a hand matchup, but yeah, most cases not happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I had an alliance mate who was talking about using Star Lord in the tech raids, and I told him, I said, look, I got a 6 red Star Lord. We went on MSFGG, we maxed out his gear, his levels, his ISO, and he had like 300,000 health.
Yeah, he's nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
that's nothing, right? So imagine on Blitz, your G15 Star Lord is facing a G15 anything, right? It's not gonna end well for you. But yeah, you drop Mantis and put Gamora, and you'll see a world of difference for sure. Because Gamora can 1v1 pretty well on her own.
Yeah, she hits hard. All right, and then X Force. Yeah, they just don't get it done.
No, they don't. All their stuff is from war, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I invested more in X-23 and had her a little bigger, if it would make a difference. I don't know. They don't really get the job done 8.3. I think, and I don't have
I'm guessing you don't have T4.
Yeah, I don't have the T4s that make them synergize better or anything like that. So
yeah, like I said, I do like that weird Charlie Day mix-up thing. I think I run Negasonic and X-23 with Colossus and Phoenix and a chump.
All right.
And so then I put Silver Samurai and Lady Deathstrike with this team. Okay. And they win a lot better than the original X-Force do. Like a lot better.
Yeah. And this next team, I think this fails a lot because Taskmaster's not big enough. They fail a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this team in itself, Korath is a merc, but Taskmaster gets his benefits from skill mercs.
Okay.
And but Korath is a tech, And Bullseye really doesn't provide any utility. He just hits. So I put Killmonger on mine because he's a skill, and so it gives the skill mercenary benefit to Taskmaster.
Okay.
And I actually, this one I'll admit I got from somebody's advice. I forget who's. Somebody told me that a big content creator was doing this, and I put Moondragon there, and I don't know how it works, but it does.
All right.
So yeah,
All right.
that would be my
Moondragon.
recommendation. Yeah, I don't get it, but
All right. The rest of the Sinister Six, I don't think they really win at 8.3, but they can win at 8.0 as long as I get like a city hero team.
yeah, my leftover Sinister Six kind of go on those teams with like the Eternals carry or Ultron carry, like those kind of teams.
Yeah.
Because I don't try without Doc Ock, they're just not going to win.
Yeah. AIM. You're getting to remnants of the past right now.
Yeah, that's a carry team. I gave up trying to get wins with them. I think my Eternals are with them now.
All right. Well, that's easy enough. Kree. Yeah, nothing there.
So my Kree minions are on the carry team,
Okay.
and the named Kree, like Ronan actually has like a lot of synergy with Kree. So I put him. I think it's like him and Captain Marvel, Ultimus, Phi-Level, and maybe Cyborg because Ultimus has. Yeah, I think I do something like that. And Phi-Level is the carry. And they're Kree, so there is benefit that goes around them, and then they win a lot more consistently than. Yeah, that team will never win on 8.3, even if you geared them up.
All right, and then you're getting to all the characters that haven't really been invested into.
Yeah,
and these
fair
guys,
enough.
these guys are usually straight up losses. If I try to fight with them, they're straight up losses. They're not. They I'd probably around like some of these at tier 7 can win, but they can't do anything at 8, and most of the time they just we end up falling down to 6. So leftover, Fantastic Four mashups. I never built up my Hydra Red Skull team, so there they are. I put the Ravagers except for Yondu here just because Yondu had some investment, and I figured Yondu wasn't going to do any favors if I just put him here. So
yeah, I don't think he would carry.
Yeah, so and then I think these are the last 2 teams right there, and they don't do anything. They don't do anything at all.
Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, because I've always tried to be competitive with Blitz, I would try to once a week I'd take a character and take him to level 60, and gear them up, and then I did that every week until eventually I got to the point where everybody that more or less the named characters that have some value were all level 60.
Yeah.
But for you who's not overly competitive in Blitz, I wouldn't advise you because if you calculated the goal to take all those guys up to even level 60,
yeah,
it'd be in the millions. And you and I both know that there's a lot better things you could do than getting your Psylocke to level 60, right?
Yeah.
So let's be real. But I think that with the suggestions I gave you, you'd probably get at least 36, maybe 35 good teams that win consistently.
All right. So yeah, you're speaking about the how much gold investment it would take, and I know I told you a little bit before we went live here recording that on Twitch I do a series called Choose My Fate, where whoever wins a marble race gets the opportunity to pick my fate for the day and have me force a level into a character. And you can see some of the investment that they forced me. I can see right here, hand Grenier, someone won and he got picked twice, and so I am being forced to invest gold. And I started this on. I've been doing this since March 10th, and so in less than a month, I have spent. I think tomorrow I'll cross this threshold. 4 million in gold so far in less than a month, and just this Choose My Fate thing that I do on Twitch. It's a lot of gold.
You probably take that personal.
Luckily for me, I'm doing it all in fun because I just made the rules harder on myself recently. So, but anyways, just gonna give you an idea of how expensive it is, and you guys see these characters are not that far. Blob was picked 3 times. You can see where he's up to 40 now. Toad was picked once. You can see this, and Iron Man was picked just today. And it's inexpensive. It's expensive in gold to do all this. So with that said, Nico, man, I appreciate you going over, spending some time with my roster and catching up after our 4 months of not really being in the same alliance. We haven't seen each other's roster or development since then. But anyways, I know you do some stuff. So you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm usually on Twitch. I'll get Maddie to put it on there for you guys. But yeah, I stream. I'm streaming consistently now. It's pretty cool.
Good,
I do
good.
a Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time until about 7:30 Pacific time, when I jump over to my friend's channel. We're playing Monster Hunter Rise together. And then Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific time, if I'm not hungover or too hungover, I usually do a chill stream where we do Blitz and just talk and hang out. So it's pretty cool. I got a YouTube channel as well. We'll put the link down below. I'm trying to get back into it again, so we'll see where that happens.
Yeah, definitely. Those links for all that stuff will be down below, guys, so you go check them out. Give them a follow on Twitch, give them a subscribe on YouTube. But with that said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Don't forget that notification bell, the subscribe and the like button before you go, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.